thinking? Hello, hello. Okay. We are going to keep going with this one up here today. Because why not? I keep forgetting to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got 6 days. So we need to do a couple of things today. That needs to be on its own. Those two could be combined. Those two could be combined. Okay. And then we'd be down to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we're going to do this little plant up here today. This little, snake plant, I think is what it's called. I don't know plant names. I'm just drawing this a little bit. I was outside and it was hot in the sun. So this is it faded a little bit. Okay, so what we're gonna do is draw some lines. If you don't, I don't remember. Oh yeah, I did have them. So if you have a printed pattern, it's already divided for you. But if you don't have a printed pattern, we are gonna draw in them. Okay, so we're gonna do some long and short stitch. We are gonna use our number 11 and 470 for this little plant here. Yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna use, how many strands do we want to use? I think let's go with 3. You could do 1 or 2 or 3. I generally go for a chunkier look, so I am going to go with 3. You can go with less if you want. Totally up to you. The less strands will just take you a little bit longer to fill the space, where more strands just cover a little bit faster and gives it a little bit more bulk, which I like. So just tie in my knot here and then we'll get started. Okay, bring this closer to me. And we can zoom in. Okay, so what we're gonna do is every other space, we're gonna do one color and then we'll do the other color in the other spaces. So I'm gonna start down here at the bottom and just, whoop, this needs to be moved up a little, hold on. Okay, so what we're gonna do is kind of straight stitch into these spaces and make some long and some short stitches. So you know what, 3 might be too much. I changed my mind. I'm gonna do 2 strands. I forget how little these are. Hold on. Rethread my needle here. Hello, friends. Everyone's jumping on late. We are doing long and short stitch with DMC 470 and DMC 11 on this little snake plant. Hi, Jana. Hi, Giselle. Okay, starting over. And actually, this one and this one are like in the front. This one's kind of behind. So, okay. Starting over. So we're going to fill this space with some long stitches and some short stitches. I usually like to kind of do like the sides, and then the middle will be a little bit longer. And then we'll do some shorter ones next to it. This is not a straight line. We will fill it in with the yellow afterwards. So it does not need to be perfect. Then we're going to do the same here. And just keep this kind of jagged. And I'm going to do one more on this edge. I'm just going to put my needle kind of under those threads a little bit. Okay. And then on this one next to it, I'm going to do the green here and do the yellow here so that there's some contrast with the leaf next to it. So I'm just going to fill this middle space. And this one I'll do the opposite. I'm going to do green at the bottom and the top. How are everyone's knots looking? Is anyone still working on them? I mean, I know some people are still like getting caught up with the whole thing, but if you've started working on your knots, are you still working on them? I guess is what I'm getting at. I'm still doing my French knots. Yeah. They're a little time consuming. I have a knot here. It's good practice for those fingers. Giselle's gonna work on them tomorrow. Oh yeah, this weekend. Weekend is a good time. I should have done them today. I'm sorry. Then everyone would have the whole weekend. I'm working on a house portrait that I'm hoping to finish this weekend. That's my weekend goal. So this one is behind, so just make sure you're keeping in your space. I think we need this one over here to come down here. Okay. About like that. All right, let me tie this off. And then we will grab our next color. All right. I love this like bright yellow green so much. I rarely use it because it's just so bright. So when I was planning this stitch along, I was like, I am using that yellow, green, whatever you want to call it. Oh, great. Now I've got a knot. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 strands of the DMC 11. Oh, gosh. Oh, good. It was a slip knot. I thought it was a knot in the middle of my thread. I was like, great. That's just fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to go in and fill in the rest of these spaces. Okay. So here we go. I like to come up either in the same hole or actually in the stitch to connect those. So I usually go in or like come in between these two to fill in that kind of a gap there. I probably don't do this technically correct, but the result is similar. So sometimes I'll go in the same hole, sometimes I'll come up in the thread like this and like do like a split stitch. Sometimes I'll come down in between, depending on what I feel like it needs to fill the space and have it look filled nicely. Okay. And then this one is going this way. But I want to keep that rounded look, so I'm going to do another stitch over here and kind of round that out. And then we'll come up here. I feel like I have to concentrate when I do this. Or maybe I just don't have much to say today. I'm like thinking of all the errands I have to run today. I was going to go to Costco yesterday, and then I ended up going to lunch with my mom instead. So I still need to go grocery shopping. But I don't have time to go to Costco today. So I'm just going to stay in town and get some stuff to get us through the weekend. Okay. We're going to come over here. I generally I like to do kind of the edges first so I know where I'm trying to fill in and then go from there. But if you feel like something else works for you, then go ahead and do that. And as soon as we're done, we can outline these. Because right now it looks like just a mess of thread. I'm terrible with long and short stitch, Jana says. It is not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I don't use it very often. That's probably, like, I could totally like use some more practice. Like, let's be honest, this is not the best, but I am not striving for perfection. So, oh, Giselle's with us. Not a lover of the long and short. I just don't have a lot of patience for it. I am with you. But here we are, practicing. Everyone practicing. Okay. There. All right. What color do we want to outline in? Do we want a new color, or should we go back in with the darker green or the lighter green? Does anyone have a preference? They all end up the same size in the end. It's true. Mine do too. I'm really oh yeah. But kind of just like the blending of the colors is more what I'm getting at, I guess. That's why I'm like, this is not the technical way to do it. I'm sorry. If you want to learn the technical way, please look elsewhere. It's not one that I use regularly, like in my other work. This is good enough for me, I feel like. So I don't really go out of my way to darker, Janice says. All right, let's do darker. Okay, so we're going to keep with our 2 strands because that's what we've been using. So we don't want to get too big and bulky. Dark. Okay, do you mean dark, like the darker green 470? Or should we go even darker and use one of our other threads, like get out the 936? No, never mind. I don't want to do that. I lied. I'm going to go with the 470. Trying to thread my needle. Hold on. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. All right. So I had 3 strands originally. So now I have just my single strand left from that 3 that I was originally using. So I'm just going to tie that. I've just got 1 thread and I'm doubling it over and tying the ends together. So then we'll have 2. Okay. So we are going to stem stitch the edges. So I like to start with the ones that are on top. So like this one and this one, and then we'll do the others. So what we're gonna do is, starting at the bottom, we're gonna make a stitch and then hold this out to the side. Oh, let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna keep our loop out to the edge. We're gonna come up halfway between our 2 stitches and then pull it snug. And then when we go down, we want, as big as this stitch is, we want this stitch to be the same size. So from here to here, we want that to be the same from here to here. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're gonna go, keep our loop out here. We're gonna go up where we went down on our last stitch. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the top. We're gonna come up at our halfway mark, pull it snug, and then we're gonna go back down at the top to finish that off. Then we're gonna do the same over on this side. Up, down, hold this out. When I'm doing a stem stitch to outline, my loop always goes out, like from what I'm stitching. So I'm not gonna put it on this side over here. I'm not gonna do this. I want it on the edge of what I'm outlining. Okay, so I'm gonna go halfway up. Hold on, I've got threads sticking to my sweater. And we're gonna go down there. Up in the middle. Oh, do I have a knot down there? There we go. And then down. Up in the middle. We probably could have done a darker green. Too late now. If you want to choose a darker green in your color palette, please feel free, because that's like blending quite a bit. But okay, and then this one, I'm just going to start here and then go down, because this one's kind of over top of it. So we're not going to go all the way down here and around. I'm just going to start here and go around. Okay. But this is not a very long part, so I'm just going to do 1 stitch and go down here and do this edge over here. Would 936 be good for the outline color? Yeah, it's a little bit dark. I mean, it's a little bit dark. If you have, I almost added 937 to our color palette. If you have 937, I think that would be perfect if you have it. If you don't, maybe mix one strand of the 937 with the 470 so it's not quite, or just do one strand of the 936 so it like outlines it nicely but doesn't like overpower the whole thing. Maybe let me finish this one that I'm working on and I will test it out. Let me just finish this one that I'm working on and then I will try out the 936. I think 937 will be perfect, but if you don't have that color, because it's not in the kits and it's not in the list. So if you don't have it, I don't want to be like, use this color, but I do think it would be perfect. Okay. Let me get out. Gosh, this is so close to the board. Okay. It's like not turning very well. Let me tie this off. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna try a single strand of the 936 because I think that it's a little darker than we probably want. Okay. We really just were wanting that defined a little bit so that you can see the separate. Oh my gosh, I hate doing knots in a single strand of thread. I feel like I have to knot it like 8 times so that it won't pull through the fabric. People that use one strand on a regular basis blow my mind. I do not have the patience for that. Okay, so I'm gonna start down here on this edge. Yeah, I think a single strand of 936 is gonna be perfect. Just a really simple outline without being too dark. Just make sure you're getting like right up next to your other stitches so that you don't have like a gap between. It looks a little darker on camera than it does in person. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna have to redo. I'm not even gonna just stem stitch this. I'm just gonna put one stitch here for this edge. Yeah, I'm gonna redo these. I mean, I'm just gonna leave this because it's already in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and outline these in this darker as well. Slide it up through the mess on the underside and come up to use it. The baby knot gets held in place because of the netting of threads it's stuck in on the other side. Oh, that's a good idea. I just knot it like 100 times, or sometimes I'll tie it to something in the back to start my needle. You know, just like a pro. stem stitch is really nice for a curved line. Well, that works too. Yeah, it works. Stuck on my needle minder. Isn't this needle minder so cute? It's a little pot of gold. I love needle minders. This hoop stand has like a spot, like it's metal so that you can stick a needle minder on there, but it's always like, I use the needle minder, I use the magnet on the back of my fabric just as much as I do on the front, so it's not the right place for me. So I'm just putting it back on my fabric. Okay. Look how cute. Isn't that cute? It looks a lot better when it's outlined than it did before it was outlined. Find those cute little lines we just made. Okay, I'm gonna finish this little side and then I'm gonna let you go and let you enjoy your weekend. Go, hopefully it's warm where you are. We're supposed to be in the 70s today. I am so excited. My friend is here visiting her parents from California. They live she grew up down the street from me, and her parents are still there. And so when they come visit, we like to get together. So we're gonna do a little campfire in our backyard tonight with them. She's got 6 cute kids, and then my 3. But we're just gonna do like hot dogs and s'mores. Apparently I'm gonna finish this. So I'm excited. I need to go buy some hot dogs and buns and chips and marshmallows. So we have all the things. Let the kids run around. Anyways, her kids are on spring break this week, so they are visiting. They normally come, like we see them at Christmas and in the summer. And our boys, her second child and my first are the same age. They're like 6 weeks apart. And so they just get along so well. Last stitch. Okay. I think it looks a lot darker on camera than it does in person. It's not quite as dark in person, and I think that that's nice. I still think it would be best in 937 if you have it, but I think 936 works great. Like, it's still so cute. I love this one. Okay, so next week we have a brand new stitch that I've never taught that we're going to do here. I want to do that Monday. So get your knots done so that we can work on this one, okay? This is going to be a bigger one, so I kind of want to give you the week to work on it if you need to. We've got a new stitch, and then we'll do like the pokies from the cactus. Jana, I like it. Yeah, it is very cute. And then we've got a little bit more we're gonna do some split stitch down here and some lazy daisies, and I haven't decided what yet on this one. Sometimes I like to just, you know, be crazy. And then some more lazy daisies here, and then we'll do the outlines. So anyways, we've got a lot going on. All right, you enjoy your weekend, get caught up, and we will see you again on Monday. Bye, guys.